Back in the day, it was Secord and Savard versus Dino and Donnie. Today, the rivalry continues, and it's as heated as ever. Take a trip back in time to one of Minnesota's most classic hockey rivalries, next on Fox Sports Net. This is the State of Hockey, downtown St. Paul. The backdrop as we welcome you inside the XL Energy Center. It's game one of the big 5-game homestand for the Wild. They take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Time to take a quick look at tonight's Pontiac standings in the Western Conference, and the Minnesota Wild are now 3 points back of the Dallas Stars for that 8th and final playoff position. Welcome in, everybody. Matt McConnell and Mike Greenlay with you. And Mike, in the first half, as we turn the corner here to the second half, we've seen a little bit of everything. 5-game homestand for the Minnesota Wild tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. And Mike, let's take a look at tonight's Northland Forge starting goaltenders.
Michael Layton, he's getting an opportunity to play because Thibault's out, and it looks like he's taken fairly good advantage of it. His goals against save percentage pretty good. And down at the other end, it's Manny Fernandez, and he continues to be strong. Obviously, both goaltenders for the Wild have been.
So the Wild coming off the 1-1 tie in St. Louis on Monday night. This is the kind of game that'll drive a coach crazy in terms of preparation. The Blackhawks have won just 3 times on the road all season, and that's probably got a whole lot of worry into the head coach, Jacques Lemaire.
Because you say it's tough to prepare for because it's tough to get your players up when they take a look at something like that.
Steve Sullivan crossing center for the Blackhawks, and he'll dump it in. The Wild wearing their 3rd jersey tonight, predominantly a red variety, trimmed in green. As the puck is going to be played in by Alexei Zhamnov. Gets it in behind the net to Sullivan to the front, but all tied up nicely by Brad Bombardier. That time was Blackhawks left winger Mark Bell, and the puck is cleared all the way to center. Alexei Zhamnov, and he's back in the lineup, played 3 games, and he has 3 points. Missed most of the season as Fernandez will give it off in behind the net for Bombardier. So the opening minute is gone here at XL Energy Center. Start of a 5-game homestand as this one's deflected into the Blackhawks bench. We'll get a face-off.
Well, Sergei Zholtak, a healthy scratch last game and back into the lineup this evening. And Jacques Lemaire has not been reluctant in taking different guys out of the lineup, whether it's been Daig, whether it's been Antti Laaksonen, whether it's been anyone. Really, it's not so much of a penalty as it is to give them a little bit of a rest. You let them think about it a little bit and have them get back and be productive.
Richard Park will send to the net. That hit the outside. The puck will be wrapped around. Good keep of the line momentarily by Kuba, but quickly racing the other way to Scott Nickel. And his shot is blocked away by Willie Mitchell. Puck is playing around, and looking to move it along there is Sergei Zholtak. And he'll find Richard Park, who will advance it to Philippe Kuba. On right wing for Marian Gaborik. Back to Kuba. Kuba drop pass. Park blocked away. Gets it again. Park will cut in behind the net to the front. And Gaborik can't finish it off. Credit a nice play by defenseman Darren Quint. So Kuba to play it in behind the net in the opening 2 minutes. The Wild with their first good scoring chance of the hockey game. At center. And into the zone it goes. Andrew Burnett. He lost the handle. Brian Berard, the free agent defenseman, wraps it around. Cleared to center. Now at his own blue line, with it is Andre Zuzin. On left wing for Christoph Brander. Well, Brander just trying to fight through a check. He'll get it down low and in behind the net. It's Brander out there right now with Weimer and Burnett. And the puck is cleared by Chicago all the way back to the Minnesota blue line. Nearly too many men on the ice for the Blackhawks as this puck is played in behind the Chicago net. And with it there is Stefan Robidas. Robidas was an acquisition from Dallas earlier this season. A deal made in the month of November. Puck sent around, and again, this one's cleared as Nathan Dempsey will give chase. And the Wild are guilty of an icing call.
Well, guilty of an icing call, but also guilty of doing a good job in the offensive zone. Look at this little pass by Marian Gaborik. And as we said before, he's got to give the puck up to get some chances. And this one is a puck that he gives up. But eventually, look at the chance he gets in front. Right over his stick as it's deflected. But sometimes a guy like Gaborik has to give the puck up and then go into a position where he can get it back. And he almost did there and almost scored.
Well, the Blackhawks will work it around deep in the zone. Handling it at the line as Nathan Dempsey is shot, sent on, rebound, they score. Well, a big rebound given up, and the Blackhawks have taken a 1-0 lead thanks to Igor Korolev.
Well, these are the kind of bounces that Chicago's claimed that they have not had lately. This is definitely a good one. Korolev was recalled from Norfolk on November 6th. And he just gets a good deflection out in front there, goes right onto his tape. He basically has a yawning net to shoot at. As Fernandez just couldn't recover in time.
So Korolev gets the goal, comes at 3:08. And it's his second of the season. Like you had mentioned that he spent part of the year at Norfolk in the American Hockey League. Puck's going to be played back, and Robida touches up, and we'll get a whistle and an icing call. Clay Matvick.
Well, Wes Walz obviously not playing here tonight. Keith Tkachuk put a pretty severe hit on him the other night in St. Louis, and Walz has a mild sprain of the AC joint in his right shoulder after taking this hit. He is day-to-day, and it looks like if he doesn't play on Friday, he will be in action. Going to keep him out for a little bit.
Well, that's good news. I mean, if you're going to lose him for just a couple of games, that's terrific news. You know, you wonder about injuries like that, Mike. You see him after the game, and you know, getting off the ice, and I guess it could have been a lot worse.
Well, they gave him everything you could. MRIs, different check by doctors. And, as Clay said, he's only going to miss a couple here, which is certainly a positive because it looked like it could have been worse.
Haskell Dupuy in behind the net, got cut off that time by Stefan Robida, and the puck is clear. Jim Dow, he'll dump one in. As setting it up in behind the net is Brian Berard. Blackhawks bring it along, and this one's chipped right back to the Minnesota blue line. Brad Bombardier. Well, we get a whistle here. Offside are the Blackhawks, so the faceoff will come out.
Well, I'm curious to see how Nick Schultz and the rest of the defensive core this evening step up into the play. They were a little reluctant to do that against St. Louis. Obviously, when you play against a team that has a very good offensive front, it's tougher to jump in as a defenseman because you want to be worried a little bit about their offense. But against a team like Chicago, even though they've scored early here, I think you may see the defense be more active in this evening's game.
Park looks to bring it along. Gives it off there for Zoltak, but the Wild are offside, and so the faceoff comes out. The Blackhawks, they're not scoring a lot these days, just 1.9 a game, but when they get the first one, they're over 500.
Those are good numbers, actually, for the Blackhawks this season. They've certainly struggled in many different departments. And, it's funny, Sutter said that if they had their goaltender, Jocelyn Thibault, in the lineup, they would likely be 10 and 19 or 10 and 20 rather than, or excuse me, 20 and 10 rather than 10 and 20.
Yeah, Thibault's been missed most of the season. Out, had hip surgery. He's gone for about another 6 or 7 weeks as the puck is played right back in.
Well, they missed a lot of top guys. I mean, Daze's been out for a long time. Jamnov just got back.
Kyle Calder, they bang for it again in front of Manny Fernandez. And it's going to be cleared all the way back to center. Blackhawks won the opener between these two teams, 1-0 at United Center in Chicago. The Wild try to clear it, but it's played back in front, and Alex Henry will set it up. Henry for the Wild, crossing center, he'll dump one in. Playing it in behind the net is Michael Layton. He'll steer it off. And again, this one's cleared all the way back down the length of the ice, where Zuzin touches in an icing call against the Blackhawks.
Well, Andre Zuzin scored the lone goal for the Wild against St. Louis last game. Boy, he was really deep, and as I said, the Wild were a little reluctant to jump into the play, but once they got the offense going and once they got cycling a little bit better, then you saw a couple of guys try it. And you don't mind seeing Zuzin try it because he is such a smooth skater, and he can definitely get back into the play if he finds himself down too low.
Eric Chouinard playing in his second game in a row for Daig, and now Daig finds Alex Henry. Zuzin to center for Pierre-Marc Bouchard. This one's sent back inside the Chicago zone. Henry will intercept at the Chicago blue line. He dumps one back. Into the zone it goes, Chouinard. And it's cleared back to center. Eric Chouinard with the puck momentarily. Now it's Brett McLean, and this one's going to be cleared away. And Eric Chouinard moves it along. Big evaluation point for Eric Chouinard, playing in his second in a row. He played a little under 14 minutes on Monday in St. Louis. Getting a chance here with other players out of the lineup. Ryan Berard to center, moves it along. Scott Nickel got stopped that time by Alex Henry. Excuse me, Tumo Rutsu.
Good step up there by Henry. He knew that he had coverage behind him, so he stood up, took the body, and the puck just laid there for one of his teammates.
Marian Gaborik looks to chase it along. Handling it is Korolev. Nice feed there as he finds Travis Moen. And Moen's shot is on. Fernandez is able to gobble it up.
Well, you want to see this, definitely, and Henry steps up early.
1-0 Chicago on an early goal from Igor Korolev at 3:08. The Blackhawks, like they did in Chicago, are leading the Wild 1-0. Way back on opening night. So the face-off to the right of Manny Fernandez. Wild beginning a 5-game homestand. Bouchard will look to get it out. He'll become very, very familiar with the surroundings of XL Energy Center if they aren't already. Nathan Dempsey plays it along Mark Bell, and he'll drop it there for Travis Moen. This one's played in. Sent in behind goaltender Manny Fernandez. He'll fire it off. Wild try to clear. Good keep by Nathan Dempsey. Ends up in behind the net. Now Kuba looks to whack away at it, and here comes Pierre-Marc Bouchard. He'll leave it for Jim Dowd. Monty locks it into the zone. Back to Dowd. Dowd tried to give it off, but nobody there. And then he got run up by Travis Moen. Mitchell will pitch in the left wing corner. Blackhawks look to get it out, and they will. Here they come, 2-on-2 developing. Mark Bell. Philippe Kuba plays it along. And it's sent out of the zone all the way back to center.
Well, Dowd getting into it a little bit along the wall now.
Well, why not? He's battling with Alexei Zhamnov. They need a spark. I mean, home ice should really be a place where you just take it over. They haven't done that.
And that's why Dowd really sparring a little bit, because he took a pretty big hit by Moen behind the net. And he responded there quickly, but they were in the offensive zone, so they didn't want to go too far. And then along the wall there and along the benches, he stepped up with Alex Zhamnov. So definitely Jim Dowd's the kind of guy that will respond. Just after the hit, there's Dowd going back after him, letting him know that didn't appreciate that. Like you said, it is your building. You have to make it that.
Nathan Dempsey will bring it back to center. Ryan Vandenbush is out there now, battling with Alex Henry. And now we get a whistle here and an offside, and things getting a little bit rough. So Henry out there, and for the Blackhawks, Ryan Vandenbush. He's put up some pretty decent numbers, just 47 penalty minutes in 27 games, but still, that's on pace for about 160 over the course of a full season. This one played in, no problem for Manny to make the save there. Vandenbush in the corner, took a bump from Jason Weimer, and Alex Henry will play it along for Andre Zuzin at center. Weimer. This one's dumped in by Pascal Dupuis. Weimer into the corner. Leaves for Day. Day to the front, chill right through the crease.
And there's Schultz dropping down to the back door. So obviously the Wild are very active defensively.
In front, but Weimer can't get a shot off. Nick Schultz will play it down again. In behind the net it goes. Day to the front, Weimer, and his shot was partially blocked. Out high, Day got it towards the net, just wide. Off the end boards, they score! Jason Weimer, and the game's tied at 1.
I talked about Wild forwards and having to put the puck in the net. Weimer has done that. It's his 6th goal as a Wild player, 7th on the year. And the Wild just keep pressing. The defense keep jumping into the play. They get the puck to the front of the net, and eventually good things happen. This one missed, Dupuis screening, but it's basically a fan shot as Weimer goes to shoot it. The defenseman got his stick onto Weimer's stick, and he didn't get all of it. So Leighton reacted to a shot that didn't come, and it trickled under his arm. The Wild tie it up.
His 7th goal this season, number 28, Jason Weimer.
The Wild look to keep it in. Andrew Burnett, pretty good job at the left point before it's poked away and cleared down the length of the ice. In behind the net to set it up, Schultz. And Schultz will move it along. Alexander Daig and Nick Schultz picking up the assist at 8:48. Park behind the net. They wave it off. Zoltak. Zoltak just trying to get it in front for Burnett. Andrew Burnett will play to the corner. Now Burnett gives it down low for Zoltak before it's taken away by Tyler Arneson. Now Park to the corner. Burnett. Zoltak right circle. One-timer, and that's blocked away. Oh, Park had a beautiful setup play. Into the corner again. Tyler Arneson, he'll wrap it around. Schultz. And this one bounces in behind Michael Layton. Sergei Zoltak gives chase. Now Burnett beats his man to the play. In behind the net it goes for Park. Park holding on to it, centering play, but it's just knocked away. And Karam's all the way back to the Wild blue line. So a change on for the Wild. Bombardier on right wing for Gaborik. Gaborik in the corner. Lost the handle. Alex Henry with a big hit there on Nieminen. And it's played away back to center. Into the zone. A little shot there. Fernandez makes the save on a blast by Tumo Ruutu. Well, they got off to a sluggish start. Jason Weimer, though, took care of that. We're 1-1. Well, our congratulations to Jason Weimer just moments ago. 7th of the season at 8:48. And the game's tied at 1. Hawks will win the draw. This one sent towards the net, and Fernandez that time had to just kick it aside. Good read by Mark Bell. Might have deflected it in front of the Minnesota goaltender.
At the very least, he was screening, and Fernandez had to be quick.
Hawks will work it on right wing. Down to the corner, Steve Sullivan lost the handle. Willie Mitchell behind the net for Kuba. And this one cleared all the way back to center. Ryan Berard inside of his own zone. Moves it along into the zone for Sullivan. Kuba quickly off the wall. He gets it to center. Antti Laaksonen steals the puck and gets it inside the Chicago zone. Falling down on the play was Laaksonen, and so the Blackhawks come right back. Jamnov into the zone. They drop it along. Sullivan to the front. Bounced off his skate. Otherwise, he would have had a pretty good scoring chance. And it's Pierre-Marc Bouchard to center. Bouchard into the zone, but that's taken away, and Jamnov the other way for Chicago. Alexei Jamnov will play one in. Fernandez wraps it around. Schultz is there. And Nick Schultz flips it back to center. Again, it's Chicago with a puck. Tumo Ruutu. Sit-on save and a rebound. Just caroms off a couple of bodies, including that of Blackhawks forward, Billy Nieminen. So Nick Schultz will play it along. 9 Chicago shots, 2 for the Minnesota Wild. Tumo Ruutu with it. Drops it out high. Steve Popst, his shot goes high and wide. And this one's going to be taken away as the puck is played, and Jason Weimer will get it to center, but couldn't hook up with Marian Gaborik, and so the puck is played, and we get an icing call.
Join the Wild. Well, Ruutu, I don't know. Does he wear a tutu? I don't see that sign. He is brother to Jarkko Ruutu, but he hasn't built up any of the hatred that they see yet. But Ruutu, certainly a lot of there's a lot of hope behind him, and that he develops. And so far, he's doing all right. But you know, it's been tough for this whole team, whether you're young or old.
He's had a lot of hype coming to Chicago.
Well, Sutter said he's getting better all the time. He's starting to talk. He's starting to swear. He's starting to smile, and he's starting to express himself. So maybe that's a good sign.
Andrew Burnett will dump this one in. Played in behind the net. Aiken looks to clear. Puck is sent down the length. They're touching up as Alex Henry, and we'll get the whistle. Icing against Chicago. Well, time for tonight's Treasure Island Resort and Casino trivia question. Name the 5 players to have their number retired by the Blackhawks. I can think of 3.
That's not the question. The question is 5.
Well, I'm looking for you for the other 2. I'll give you the tough one.
Okay.
One was a one was a goalie, one was a Jet.
All right.
And another was called Stosh. Those are the only clues you're going to get out of me tonight. Scott Nickel, bumped that time by Eric Chouinard. Chouinard gets the puck at center ice, but he loses it.
Was one the goalie's brother?
Play to the corner. That's funny. I like those commercials. Puck play to the front. Actually, 2 goaltenders come to think of it, as Eric Chouinard drops it along for Marion Gaborik. And it's turned the other way as Nickel gives it off there into the zone. Blackhawks just try to advance it. Willie Mitchell try to take it away. Into the corner for Tyler Arneson. Arneson and Calder and Nickel looking to get something going deep inside the Wild zone. And behind the net, Arneson. To the line it goes. A shot taken by Robitaille goes wide. Marion Gaborik with it. And he'll give it off to Philippe Kuba. In behind the net for Willie Mitchell. Through center ice and inside the Blackhawks zone. Stefan Robitaille behind the net for Brian Berard. And this one cleared all the way back inside the Minnesota zone. So giving chase is Brad Bombardier, who played about 14 minutes, a little over 14 here in the opening period. 1-1 the score. Loxonen gets it inside the zone. Puck played to the corner. Robitaille wraps it around on the near side, and it's cleared all the way back through center and into the zone where Jim Dowd will play it for the Wild. Out in behind the net. To center for Loxonen. On Loxonen, nice move to get it over the Chicago line, but he got picked. The other way it goes. Sullivan into the zone. Sullivan, his shot. Glove save by Manny Fernandez.
Fans, it's time to...
1-1 the score tonight. XL Energy Center, the site. The Blackhawks and the Minnesota Wild. This is the start of a 5-game homestand for the Wild, so we've been talking about that a lot. How critical the stretch really is going to be. Dupuis sets it up, loses the handle. Nathan Dempsey got one towards the net. That's blocked away. Mitchell tries to move it along, and Brander will get it to center for Dupuis, but that's broken up. And the Blackhawks and Jonathan Aiken will move it along. Flipped into the zone. Willie Mitchell giving chase. Dupuis. Now we get a whistle here, evidently an offside. Talking about that homestand, Mike.
Well, the opportunities there. Those are the 5 opponents the Wild will see. In their first homestand, which was 4 games, they went 1-2-1. And their second homestand, that was 4 games long, they went 0-3-1. Well, look at those 5 opponents. They have an opportunity to really help themselves out here and get their home record where it should be.
Played back inside the zone. Steve Popst. Now Andrew Burnett with a chance. Plays it along for Richard Park. Into the corner, Burnett. This line's been pretty effective. They've had some good scoring chances, albeit just a couple of shots so far here in this first period. As this one's going to be played by Andre Zuzin. Back to center ice for Richard Park. Park into the zone. Plays it in behind the net. Burnett to the front, hitting the outside of the net that time. Zoltan. Richard Park all tied up there by Korolev. Park will chase it down in the near corner. He battles with Stefan Robitaille. The Blackhawks will free it as Brian Berard gets it to center. This one's played in by Travis Moen. So Alex Henry in behind the net. 1-1 the score. Korolev in for Chicago, and Weimer for the Wild. Schultz through center. Bouncing puck's going to go down to Anthony Ellis. They wave off the icing here. Gaborik will play it in behind the net. Going to give chase is Christoph Bronner. Now Gaborik with it. Marion Gaborik got one towards the net, but that goes wide to the left of Leighton. Christoph Brander tries to advance it. Played down low. Steve Popst and Brander. Now Zhamnov in behind the net. Alexei Zhamnov all tied up by Brander, who's doing a pretty good job down low on the forecheck. And played through center. Lead pass intended for Zhamnov, and Schultz will play it in behind the net for Brander. Brander can't handle it. Zhamnov now along the wall. Brander lost the handle. Now the Blackhawks get it in front, but this one's taken away by Bouchard. Moved along for Dowd. Jim Dowd's got some room. Dowd into the zone for Bouchard. Pierre-Marc Bouchard to the line, but unable to handle it that time. Philippe Kuba. This one's flipped along and dumped right back in.
Bouchard did a good job of, when he cut back, he put that pass underneath the defender's stick, but it was bouncing a little bit, and Kuba just couldn't handle it. But you can see a good thought process there by Bouchard, trying to use his defenseman with speed coming into the zone. And Jacques Lemaire talked about that a week ago.
Blackhawks chase down a loose puck. Nathan Dempsey into the corner. Loxinen is there. Bouchard tries to move it along. Kyle Calder intercepting as Bouchard. Bouchard into the corner for Loxinen. Centering play Schwinnard. Now Bouchard has it again. For Loxinen. Off the wall, Eric Schwinnard. He'll send towards the net. Bouchard is there, plays it around. And it's cleared all the way back to center. Nickel into the zone. This one's cleared all the way back. Blackhawks will pick it off. Brian Berard going wide. Berard pulled to the front. It's right there. Able to put it home was Tyler Arneson.
Wild want to be careful. They want to be careful not to allow the game to turn into who gets the best chances or best breaks. Because a good bounce there would have given Chicago another goal-scoring opportunity.
Now we get an offside and a chance to remind you about Wild single-game tickets. They're on sale right now at the XL Energy Center box office, the Hockey Lodge at Mall of America, on all Ticketmaster locations. 651-989-5151 to charge by phone. Limited tickets do remain for the Monday game coming up against Nashville. Zuzan. Minute 5 remaining in the opening period. This one's going to be played back by Tumo Ruutu, but he lost the handle, so Dupuy will bring it along through center before it's sent right back in by Brett McLean. Ruutu took a bump from Alex Henry. Puck played away, and Pascal Dupuy will get it to center. Dupuy into the zone. He'll flip one along. Brian Berard will set it up in behind the net. Burnett keeps inside the zone, but this play is offside, so the faceoff comes out.
Well, Burnett working in his office, I guess you can call it, behind the net, doing a pretty good job. It's good to see the Wild starting to get the puck down low a little bit, where he can really help out, and he already has turned the puck right up ice from behind the net a couple times in the offensive zone. The Wild just missing on a couple chances.
Jamnoff into the zone. He'll look to set it up for the Blackhawks. 15 seconds remaining in the period. Sullivan in behind the net. He lost it. This one's going to be played around. Hawks will keep the zone momentarily before it's cleared to center. 6 seconds to Richard Park. Takes a long-range shot, and that's going to do it. End of one, a very quiet first period here at XL Energy Center, Mike. Both teams exchanging goals, including that man, Jason Weimer. So we have reached the end. 20 minutes in the books. It's the Blackhawks 1 and the Wild 1. Don't go anywhere. Clay Matvick back to get you updated. Well, action from that first period of play between the Blackhawks and the Wild. We're getting set for the second period here tonight. A 1-1 tie. Igor Korolov, the goal scorer, at 3:08 for Chicago. Weimer tying the game at 8:48. You look over the last 14 games, Mike, and they start leaking oil, so to speak, in the second and third. We'll see if that is true here tonight.
Start losing feathers.
Vic Schultz inside of his own zone. He'll play it along for Bombardier. Loxinen leaves at center. Here, Marc Bouchard going after the puck, but it's turned the other way, and we get a whistle here on the offside.
Well, the Hawks have certainly had problems this year. They have 10 wins at the halfway mark, and they're on pace to only win 20, and that would be the lowest victory output since the 1956-57 Hawks. They had 16 wins over a 70-game schedule, so I'm sure the Hawks want to try and improve on that somewhat. And on the road, they've been very dismal. We talked about it in the piece of the game, and that's 0-11, 0-1 in their last 12 road games. Of course, that man's back in the lineup, and they hope that he can give them some offensive output.
Well, he has in his first 3 games a couple of goals and an assist. And they're definitely a much better team with him in the lineup. Mark Bouchard watches that one bounce off him. Puck play to the corner.
Keep going.
Bouchard can't handle it. Sullivan at the line. Berard. Shamrock watches it be poked back to center. Bell crossing center. Hawks will get it into the zone. Berard holds up, knocked off the puck by Schultz. Now Sullivan with it. Sullivan to the line for Bell. Got it towards the net by Bombadil. That one into the corner. Alexei Shamrock goes in behind the net. Shamrock right through the crease. I love that play because you never know. You might get a bounce off a skate or something. Sullivan again behind the net. Gives it off to Shamrock. Wild right now standing around. And it's taken away this time by Loxton, and he'll clear the zone.
That's also a tough play because the goaltender can't fully commit to that sharp angle, because if it does get out there,
Here's Arneson into the front, loose in the crease, they score! Tyler Arneson. And the Blackhawks have taken a 2-1 lead.
well, very much like that. If a goaltender can commit too much to one guy, then sometimes it'll get tossed out in front and just deflect off someone. This one, of course, not a pretty goal, but the feed just banks off of a couple guys, and then it looked like Arneson jammed away at it as it was bouncing around. One skate, almost another skate off of the goaltender's stick, and then Arneson just chips that one in. So they've had a couple good bounces here. It's something that the Chicago Blackhawks have not enjoyed, are good bounces. And their first one went off a skate right to Korolev, and the second one goes off a couple of skates and right to Arneson.
So a minute 38, the time of the goal. The Blackhawks have taken a 2-1 lead. The crowd here at XL Energy Center probably wondering what's going on. As Philippe Kuba will set it up. Day gets center. Got muscled off the puck that time by Aitken, but we get a whistle on the offside.
Well, a couple of things that Jacques Lemaire talked about this homestand. Of course, he said he wanted to have a good start against the Chicago Blackhawks, but one of the things he said about homestands is that you don't want to find yourself in too much relaxation, and you don't want to find yourself getting stale near the end of it if it lasts too long. So the Wild have not shown a lot of emotion in this game yet, but you hope to see some of that soon, because you're playing against a desperate team right now. Chicago trying to find a win out of anything.
Calder and Berard pick up the assist on Arneson's goal as we get a whistle and a touch-up icing. The Blackhawks early here in the second period have taken a 2-0 or 2-1 lead. Behind the net, Richard Park looks to play it along. Sergei Zholtak, he's going to get a penalty. And Mick Magoo in the corner makes the call. Tripping's going to be the call. Zholtak upending McLean.
Well, he did get his stick in there. It might be a diving as well, because Magoo called that. Yeah, he called that very quick. He called the trip and the dive all at once. Watch Zholtak spin around, and that was a sad attempt at drawing the penalty. McLean, not a good actor on that one. And Zholtak did get his stick in there enough so that he gets a tripping. So both guys go. See some 4-on-4 open ice hockey here. First penalties of the game.
Yeah, the Wild haven't taken that many over the last little while. Steve Popst in behind him. Gaborik, Loxton, and Mitchell and Kuba out there for the Minnesota Wild.
2 minutes for unsportsmanlike diving.
So McLean gets unsportsmanlike diving, and Zholtak
2 minutes for tripping.
gets 2 for tripping.
I like the call on that. Unsportsmanlike diving. It's almost trying to shame the player into not taking another one.
32.
Remember the diving list?
Yeah.
They came out with that.
Absolutely.
To the front, Gaborik can't finish it off. Pretty good play there by Darren Quinn. now Steve Popst inside of his own zone. And behind the net. Hawks will set it up. 1:18 left in those minor penalties. Alexei Zhamdov into the zone it goes. Shot on Nichols. Save that time Fernandez. And Nick Schultz will play it in behind the net. Tyler Arneson. And this one's cleared away and sent all the way back. And behind the net, Steve Popst. Robida. Robida handling it. He'll move it along to center for Mark Bell. Bell inside the Wild zone. Bell, he scores! Mark Bell over the shoulder of Fernandez. 3-1 Chicago.
Oh, Manny Fernandez got caught cheating. And when you get caught cheating, it usually looks pretty bad there. Bell just caught Fernandez sneaking to the far side. Fernandez was looking for the pass. Instead, Bell just slips one in. See the back door play there. Check out the back door. There's a couple players drifting in there, and Fernandez thought he was going to get a feed. There it is. Yeah, normally Manny Fernandez would be out further, challenging the shooter, and that's going to be a goaltending change. As much to get the team going as is to get some new life in there in the net.
Well, Clay Madvik, what is going on?
Well, Manny Fernandez on the way off the ice patted Roley on the backside, saying hopefully he can do a little bit better than I have so far here tonight. But what the coaching staff talked to the players about during the first intermission mostly was puck support. Without that support, plays are being snuffed out before they develop. It's something they've been working on in practice, so they think it should be better than what it has been tonight. And without the good puck support in that first period, that's why they only had 2 good shots on net. So hopefully that will get better here before too long. Back to you.
And Clay, that was an emphasis for this team the other night. Susan sent on late in the save. We'll get a face-off. It was an emphasis the other night, Mike, because Jacques talked about it this morning. He said first period in St. Louis, we checked well, but we did nothing when we got the puck. He said in the second period, though, we started controlling the puck and making things happen. I think that's what he's looking for.
Well, basically bearing down when you have the puck, reading the ice. Puck support basically means supporting the puck carrier or supporting the dump in on the forecheck.
Susan in front, and his shot getting a piece was light. Rebound, they score! Eric Schwinnard. And they're right back into it. It's 3-2 Chicago.
That's puck support. Susan supported the player in the corner, and then Schwinnard supported the rebound behind the net. There's a support, and then Susan stays with it, and he supports Schwinnard, who drives to the net. So it's basically being around the puck and giving each other options, whether to shoot or to pass. And Schwinnard just bangs one in there and shows the Minnesota Wild how to park yourself on top of the crease.
4th of the season for Schwinnard.
Scoring for Minnesota. His 4th goal this season, number 21, Eric Schwinnard. Assist to number 20.
The Wild get it right back, similar to what happened in period number 1.
His first one as a Minnesota Wild player, Eric Schwinnard.
Henry goes all over his man. Into the corner it goes. Thrown to the front, but they can't put it home. Alex Henry really trying to rough up Tumo Ruutu. Puck played into the corner, and Henry, he'll play it away. For Jason Weimer, in behind the net, Willie Mitchell. Tumo Ruutu took a run at Mitchell. In the corner, Weimer knocks his man off the puck. Wild trying to get it out. Good work in behind the net by Brett McLean. They throw it in front. To the line it goes. Dempsey got one towards the net, and that's just wide. Ruutu to the front, and no problem there for Rolison as another shot goes wide. And Pascal Dupuis will play it away, and we're going to get a penalty here.
Well, those two guys still going at it, Henry and Ruutu. And I think it's going to be Henry gets the extra penalty here. It's an interference call on Alex Henry. They've been battling all the way up and down the ice.
Well, the Blackhawks are going to go to the power play. And
when you look in the corner, you see Ruutu's back, and Henry has just wrapped him up a little bit. Puck's nowhere to be found, and that's why he headed to the box.
Kyle Calder with it. He'll set it up for the Blackhawk power play to the line. Berard. Now Sullivan with it. Berard tries to move it along, and the other way it goes, and here comes Loxinen. In on the breakaway, holds, shoots. And the net is knocked off. No goal and no penalty. I guess they're going to say that the net was knocked off after the whistle blew.
Well, the Chicago power play plays 4 forwards and Brian Berard, who's an offensive defenseman. They have given up 9 shorthanded goals this year, which is second only to Pittsburgh. They gave up only 8 last year, and they almost made it 10 right here. Loxinen on the breakaway. Nice move, great pad save by Leighton, who would have covered it up. It'd have been a whistle nevertheless, as Berard comes piling through the net, but the Wild almost tying the game shorthanded. The other night, the Hawks gave up 2 shorthanded goals to Edmonton and lost 4-3.
And they had a 3-1 lead in that game.
Absolutely. So it's keeping the leads, as we saw the graphic earlier about the 4 goals in the last 14 games in the first, and then giving up 13 in each the second and third for the Hawks. So the Wild could take advantage of that.
Richard Park will play it across 2 lines. Offside is the call.
Well, Loxinen had a penalty shot earlier this year, didn't score on it, and this a nice breakaway chance, and all he had to do was, well, I don't want to say all he had to do, it's not an easy task, but he could have gone a little bit higher on the backhand there and beat Leighton on the pad side, but it was a good save nonetheless and a good move, and good read to pick up that puck and go down the ice on a breakaway short-handed.
Maybe this is a good time for the Wild to just kind of get surly on this penalty kill. They trail at 3-2, a minute left in the minor to Alex Henry. Into the zone it goes. Don't forget the services of Wes Walls not in effect here tonight. And, you mentioned that when you go to the penalty kill. This one sent high over the top of the net and wide. Wes Walls leading the Wild with 2 shorthanded goals this season. And it's cleared all the way back for Steve Sullivan at his own blue line. Bombardier looks to clear. He can't. He got hooked on the play. In behind the net. Upended that time. Kuba doing a pretty good job on Ruutu. Right at the line. Wild just trying to get it out. Bouncing puck. Ruutu is there. It's loose in the crease. Still loose and just sent wide. Brett McLean with it. 7 seconds to go in the Chicago power play. At the line. Sullivan. Skate in. His shot is on. Rollis in the save. Hit a rebound side of the net. Is it in? They say it is, but the light has not gone on.
Oh, it looked like it might have rolled inside and been pulled out. That's going to be reviewed.
Penalty is over. Rollison said I had it all the way, but he will undoubtedly get another look.
We're going to let you play video goal judge. As the Hawks got the puck down there and they jammed it at the net, and you take a look. The shot by Sullivan, and watch the redirection here. It's Gaborik who pokes the puck, and right on the post, as you watch it, it pokes it into the net, and then it's pulled out by Bombardier. I think they're going to call that a goal. They're reviewing it right now. I don't think there's any question the puck went in. I'm just wondering whether the whistle went before the puck went in. Carey Fraser on the phone as well. It's a goal. We're going to listen for the whistle here as Arneson gets his second of the game. Didn't hear a whistle, but they it was a goal. I mean, that is clearly a goal. Whistle or no whistle, because the puck was still in motion. It wasn't covered up. It was actually poked in by Gaborik as he tried to keep it out. Bombardier pulled it out of the net. And the Hawks 4-2 now over the Wild. Arneson with 2 in this game.
Scoring for Chicago, His 9th goal of the season and second of the game, number 39, Tyler Arneson.
This puck is played by Gaborik, and the Wild will move it back to the Chicago blue line, but it's taken away. Kuba inside of his own zone. Lead pass for Chouinard. Now Gaborik will chase it down. And behind the net. Gaborik has it. Gaborik trying to go to the net. Eric Chouinard around the wall. Holding his Brandner. His shot is on. Rebound. Chouinard was there. He got upended. Play rolls on. Gaborik has it. Wrister that time. Wide. Derek Quint for Chicago. Moving along for Steve Popst. Crossing center. Nickel right on. Rollis in the save. Mitchell. Back to center for Dupuis. Into the zone. Alexander Daigle plays it in behind the net. Dupuis. Penalty forthcoming here against the Chicago Blackhawks as they touch up. Well, they didn't control the puck, but they touched it, and we get a hooking penalty.
Well, Tyler Arneson may like this building. He has 2 goals in this game so far, but when you go back to the Final 5 in 2001, he scored a hat trick for St. Cloud, and that was against North Dakota in the championship game. Arneson with 3 beauties. He has a couple here this evening against the Minnesota Wild, so something about this ice surface.
Is that video courtesy of Clay Matthews?
Minor penalty on Chicago.
Former
St.
Cloud grad.
Yeah, former St. Cloud alum.
Time of the penalty, 8:50. Aitken, obstruction.
Rollis will play to the corner, and so the Wild on the power play, and a crazy one here tonight at XL Energy Center, and a chance to get it back to within 1. Mark in the corner. Bouchard down low. Pierre-Marc Bouchard coming away with it. He'll give it off to Brunette. Skipped right off his blade. This one goes over the glass and out of play.
Well, this is only the 3rd time in 19 games that the Wild have given up more than 2 in a game, and they've given up 4 so far in this game. You look at the Blackhawks are much the same in terms of putting the puck in the net. And they've put in quite a few here already halfway through the game, and they have 4.
This one's sent down, but we get a whistle, so the faceoff will come back inside the Chicago blue line.
And the Wild also won for the last 25 on the power play. Need to get that going here in the second half of the season, more on a consistent basis. They've had some good opportunities throughout the first half on the power play. They've had some success, but it needs to come on a more frequent basis in order for them to take advantage of the power plays that they're getting.
Into the corner, Eric Chouinard. This one's played to the line, Zuzan. Now in front of his own net and clearing it down the length. Good job there by the Blackhawk defenseman Nathan Dempsey. Zoltan at center into the Blackhawk zone. Gives it to Chouinard. To Daigle. Into the corner, Chouinard. Daigle out high. Maybe you can get number 10 right here. Chouinard. To the line, Zoltan. Chouinard. Daigle to the front. They jam it along. Zuzan. He'll take a shot. That hit the post.
Good play there by Zuzan, who grabs it and drops it and then tees one up. He waited for the defenseman to just move out of the way, and then he just labeled one at the net, and this one catches pipe. Here's the jam away, and there he is fielding it. And then he just, oh, it does go off the skate and then the pipe. Wild have seen a lot of pipes and missed opportunities this season.
Well, Bouchard down there battling for the puck. Handling it is Richard Park. And behind the net to Bouchard. He'll set it up to the line. Kuba to Bouchard. To Kuba. Bouchard with room. He takes a shot, and that's blocked away, and it's clear. But good to see Pierre-Marc Bouchard shooting in that situation.
Well, he had a crowd in front. That's good for a screen, maybe a deflection. or even a rebound. And unfortunately, Chicago did a good job of collapsing down around their goaltender and blocked it.
No shots on that power play. Chicago kills it off. 6 shots for the Wild through 1.5 periods here tonight. Blackhawks have 18. Jammed off to the corner. He'll play it along for Steve Sullivan. To the line, Nathan Dempsey. That hit traffic out high. Into the corner, Sullivan. Hard to believe he was picked up off waivers from Toronto a couple of seasons ago. He's a terrific hockey player. Alexei Zhamnov in behind the net. Now Sullivan in the corner. Looking around. Holding is Sullivan. He got the return feed, but Bombardier will knock it away. Very late penalty call here by Kerry Fraser as Sullivan was upended. And Dowd will get the penalty. Andre Zuzin comes close still. 4-2 Chicago.
Keep an eye on this part over here to the right side because Sullivan gets what appears to be dragged down, but it really is an unsportsmanlike dive. Look at Dowd's reaction. Yeah, That's two in a row there by Chicago in terms of taking diving penalties.
Well, Weimer will set it up in behind the net for Brunette. Bouchard with it. He's got room. Bouchard holding on to the puck to Brunette. And Brunette goes wide to the line. Zoltak plays it along Zuzin. Got it towards the net. Weimer tries to play it out. And it's turned the other way and cleared. Minute 24 left in the power play. Rolison steers it around. He came in to relieve Manny Fernandez earlier in this period. Sergei Zoltak will hustle it back. Zoltak lost the handle, but it's Zuzin to pick it up. Into the zone for Pierre-Marc Bouchard. He'll leave at the point. This one's going to be picked off, and Scott Nickel with a shorthanded chance. In on Rolison. He fired it over the top of the net.
And a penalty. Obstruction hooking. Goes to Zuzin, and Zuzin's the one who gave the puck up at the blue line, and then he tries to chase it down. And wow, this one just goes over the net. And Zuzin, I think, was doing some water skiing on the way back just to try and get back into the play. He's shaking his head, not necessarily at the penalty, but likely at the play that caused the penalty. There's the play. He tries to go cross blue line.
2 minutes for obstruction hooking. Time of the penalty,
and away Nickel went. He did not score, and so the Wild basically all they do is lose a power play opportunity rather than another goal.
Pops will bring it along. Zhamnov into the zone. His shot goes high over the top. So we play 4-on-4 for the next 35 seconds. Blackhawks will have a power play, and it's played to center. Gaborik with it. Into the zone. Schultz and a wrist shot. Scores! Nick Schultz. And it's 4-3.
Now puck support. This time by Nick Schultz as he steps into the play and gets a nice little feed from Gaborik, who takes the defender down, drops it back. Screen shot right inside the pipe. That's Schultz. Number 2 on the season. That's a nice little shot there right inside the post and under the crossbar. And the Wild have closed the gap once again.
Well, second of the season for Nick Schultz. Second in about 10 days. He had that one tally in Edmonton on a recent road trip. So the Blackhawks let the Wild get back to within 1, and here's Zoltak. Kuba with it. He's got some room on the right side. Take as many shots as you can right now at Leighton.
Well, shooting percentage certainly looks good at this point.
7 shots on goal, 3 tallies. Make it 8, I'm sorry.
They just tagged up the Kuba chance. Still, 3 for 8 isn't too shabby. Wild killing off a penalty now, the Zuzin penalty. For obstruction hooking.
Puts his saves percentage right at about 60, right?
Well, don't ask me about math right now.
58 seconds left in the Zuzza minor.
The only math is the addition and subtraction of the scores. Right now they're down by 1. They were down by 2.
And we've seen 5 goals here in this second period. Nick Schultz in the corner, Tyler Arneson as well. Puck freed. Ruutu will send around. Arneson with 2 of the 4 Chicago goals tonight, trying to keep it in at the left point. And this one is cleared out and sent back. Ryan Berard giving it off to Steve Sullivan. Sullivan will crank it up with a little more than a half a minute remaining in the Hawks power play. They dump it to the corner. Willie Mitchell. Now behind the net, Tumo Ruutu, but this one's going to be cleared by Mitchell and all the way back through center.
Oddly enough, if the Wild come back and win this game and it stays much the same way in terms of play, Jacques Lemaire won't be that happy with the game. I'm sure he'll appreciate the win, but won't be happy with the way the Wild have played.
Philippe Kuba in behind the net, he'll set it up.
Also with that goal, it just became Dwayne Rollison's game.
Into the zone, Richard Park to the corner. Let's see if the team can come back, get the win for Roley and get Manning off the hook.
Well, Manning's off the hook in terms of win-loss, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Berard into the zone. Kuba. Gabrick now play for Kuba. Philippe Kuba with 4:42 left in the second period. He'll play it along back to center. It's handled by Brandner. They wave off the 2-line pass, and so in behind the net to set it up is Steve Popst. Brandner all over him. Puck played around. Kyle Calder got picked. Gabrick down low. Well, Brandner is there. Eric Chouinard looking to help out. They battle for possession of the puck. 5 players. Chouinard trying to advance on Popst. Gabrick holding. Into the corner, Chouinard.
All this created because it was a good forecheck by Brandner.
Gabrick out of the corner. Gabrick, slick little move there. He got upended, no penalty. And the other way goes Calder. 2-on-1 developing for Chicago. Calder, shot, blocked away. Great read by Alex Henry. And it's turned the other way as Brandner will send one down the length of the ice and an icing call against the Wild.
Great shift.
A close call there for Calder. Place will be filled with Coyotes on Friday, then a bunch of Predators Monday. Some Kings will come in on the 14th. We'll see some Penguins on the 16th. Back into the corner. Down low, Steve Sullivan will move it along. Jamroff in behind the net. Sullivan comes in front. Sullivan with a chance, and Rollison covers up. Sullivan had a bit there. He just came off the end boards and curled it around.
Well, Rollison did a good job of following. Banks off the boards. He comes right out front. Rollison shuffles, and then gets his leg. He comes out, and that's what makes a save. Some goaltenders just try and go straight across, and by doing so, they don't keep the angle. But Rollison came out and across, keeps the angle, makes a good pad save.
Daigle play to the corner. A big hit there, Weimer, as he was all over Jonathan Aiken, but it's the Hawks the other way. Into the zone, offside goes Chicago. And so we're going to face off coming outside the zone. The more I watch this guy, Mike, the more I like him.
He plays that certain style that really opens up the ice. That's what they wanted from him. They knew that the kind of style he played. He was doing a lot of it on the wing. Now he's doing it at center for the Minnesota Wild. And right there, just good hit. Puts his shoulder into a big man Aiken and puts him down. And they remember that. Defensemen and forwards deep in their own zone, they remember getting hit like that. Next time they might be looking over their shoulder.
Into the zone, Joltok, but he lost the handle. Puck played the other way. Ruutu trying to get around Alex Henry. Henry takes him right off the puck. They've had battles going on between those two guys all night long as Park will play it along. Richard Park gets it back at center. He'll dump one deep. Nathan Dempsey. Now Joltok, he can't move it along, and so the Hawks clear it to center. Susan Laid down the length, and in behind the net is Nathan Dempsey, so an icing call here against the Wild. Take a look back at that Treasure Island Resort and Casino trivia question. Name the 5 players to have their number retired by the Blackhawks. Well, there's Glenn Hall, there's Bobby Hull, there's Stan Mikita, there's Tony Esposito, and the assistant coach, Denny Savard. I had 4 of them.
We have some parting gifts for you.
Thank you.
You needed 5.
A lifetime supply of brats. Which, according to Nick Bourne, I don't need them. Well, if you look at Denny Savard's lapel, there's a number 3 pin on there, and the hockey world lost a couple of great Chicago connections. Keith Magnuson lost his life in a car accident earlier this season in Toronto, a longtime Chicago defenseman. And I can't forget the legendary voice of the Chicago Blackhawks for so many years, Lloyd Pettit, who certainly had a big influence on me, as this one sent to the front and denied by Rolison. The puck is played around. 2 huge members of the hockey community. Behind the net, Gabrick battling for it, so is Eric Swinard, and he'll play it to the corner. Christoph Brandon. Gabrick can play it along, and so Nickel to center. Calder trying to advance on Alex Henry. Henry's head that time on a swivel, looking all over the place. Side of the net, Hawks bang away at it, and finally we get a whistle.
The Hawks continue to throw the puck into the corner, throw the puck out front, and hope for a good bounce. They've had a couple this game already. Henry battling very well in this game. Very physical all over the ice. Physical against Route 2 and pretty good in the corner just now. Keeping everybody at bay. He's been a good addition to this lineup.
This one played along. Rollis will steer that to the corner. Antti Laaksonen, and he clears it all the way back inside the Chicago blue line. At center with it is Philippe Kuba. Mitchell. Comes all the way down the length. Ryan Berard touches up, and we get a whistle icing the call here against the Wild. So we go under a minute remaining in the second tonight at XL Energy Center.
Jim Dowd is quietly, as you said the other day, quietly added a lot of points. He's tied for the team lead in assists with 16. He still plays with a lot of grit and determination, something you expect from younger players, but he continues to have that, and that gives him the edge.
Mitchell looks to clear it. Puck out of the zone, Robida. This one fired right back into the Hawks bench. Won't go anywhere in another 42 seconds. Play will visit with Steve Sullivan of the Chicago Blackhawks, and also stopping by will be Bill Robertson, Vice President of Communications and Broadcasting for the Minnesota Wild. He's going to get everybody updated on the schedule for the upcoming All-Star Weekend. The NHL All-Star Game here early next month. Nieminen will drop this one off. Played towards the front. Hawks keep the zone. Timo Ruutu, and now going after it's going to be Andrew Burnett. And he'll move it along, intended for Richard Park. Park chasing down a loose puck. Working on Steve Pops. Now Burnett finds Zoltak. Zoltak to the front. Oh, but not able to get a shot off was Park. 4 seconds to go. And this one is cleared away, and that's going to do it. So the end of 2 tonight, and what is turning out to be a wild one at XL.
And the Wild are still in this one. They're down by 2 goals twice in that period, but they've battled back to only be down by 1, and they could make something happen in the third.
5 goals in that second period, including 2 from the Wild, 1 from Schwannard, 1 from Schultz. End of 2, Chicago with a 4-3 lead. Clay Matwick and his guests when we come back. As we get set for the start of the third period here tonight in St. Paul. See if the Wild can come all the way back. At one point, the Blackhawks had leads of 3-1 and 4-2. It's 4-3, 21-8. The Wild being outshot as the puck is played in, and Pierre-Marc Bouchard will give chase, but we get a whistle and an offside.
Well, when leading after 2, Chicago's found a way to
bring it home.
Yeah, that's about it. But Wild just haven't been clicking this game. They've had some opportunities and they've scored on a few of them, but it's been a rough game, no question about it.
Willie Mitchell bringing right back to the Chicago blue line, and Stefan Robidoux played in behind the net for Chicago. Don't forget the Phoenix Coyotes are here on Friday night. As into the zone it goes, Sullivan. Sullivan looking in front. Puck ends up in behind the net. Jim Dow, but now jammed off with it. To the front, knocked away by Mitchell. And Loxonen will play it along the center, intended for Bouchard. Now Sullivan with it again. Into the zone for Bell. Berard, his shot is on. Steered aside there by Rolison. At the line, Dempsey sent on again. Rolison another save. Berard's shot goes wide. Jammed off, and again, it's the Chicago Blackhawks coming out in the period, really trying to establish play, as this one will be sent to the corner for Daig. Daig hits the trailer. Bombardier, but he couldn't keep the zone, so the Wild reset. Nick Schultz will play one in. Rolling puck goes around at the line, but this one is out of the zone, so an offside against Minnesota.
Well, looking for some offense from different players, and Doug Risebrough separated a couple names, Gabrick, Dupuis, of course Kuba, and Zoltak were some that he spoke about. But everyone needs to get into the offensive show, even if you're a defensive forward.
Tyler Arneson will dump one in. Around the left side, Pascal Dupuis will set it up. Dupuis in behind the net. Dupuis will play it around near side as he looks to bang it along for Jason Weimer. Weimer at center, but Jonathan Aiken for Chicago will play inside of his own zone.
Have a look, Gordon.
Tyler Arneson. Scott Nickel. Andre Zuzin broke his stick. The blade just snapped right off that thing. Back to center ice, Gabrick. Gabrick into the zone. Gabrick, wrist shot, blocked away by Quint. And Arneson the other way for Chicago. Tyler Arneson, a little bit of a tug there, and Zuzin sends this one into the bench. Well, look at the Wells Fargo High School hockey report. Metro rankings for the boys. Centennial is number 1. Top 5 includes Eden Prairie, Edina, Holy Angels, and Breck. Always fun to get everybody updated on the boys and girls. It's presented tonight by Wells Fargo. Steve Popst. He's using to play it to the front of the net for Eric Chouinard. To center ice. And into the corner where Derek Quinn will send in behind the net. Burnett battles for it. Reiner will take it away momentarily, but back forward is Tumo Ruutu. Andre Zuzin flips it along to the Chicago blue line. Hawks bring it the other way. Taken away by Alex Henry. And McLean will play for Chicago. On left wing, Billy Neiman. It never did clear the zone, so Park will dump it in behind the net. Lighton lost the handle to the front. Oh, chance they score! Richard Marcus tied the game at 4.
A mistake by the young netminder Michael Layton gives the Wild a chance, and it's Andrew Brunette who does a good job of forechecking. He fans, and Brunette makes him pay. A blind pass to Richard Park, and Richard Park slams one in the net. Good forecheck there, and as you said, the puck never cleared the zone, and Richard Park gets his 7th goal of the season in what looked like an empty netter.
Scoring!
Burnett will pick up an assist.
His 7th goal of the season.
as the puck is played away. So the game is tied. Sullivan, he just sent one wide. Bouchard looks to get it out. He will. Loxinen at center. Now Dowd has it. 2-on-1 developing to Loxinen. Loxinen with a shot and a save by Light. As the puck is played in behind the net. With it is Bouchard. Side of the net down. Wild looking to take the lead here. Dowd out high. Sent on. And Leighton makes the save and the Hawks will clear.
All the Wild with some energy now. They have scored 4 goals on 11 shots in this hockey game.
This one's going to be cleared away by Berard. Out of the zone it goes. Well, the Wild have trailed by 2 twice in this hockey game, but they've scored the last pair of goals, and it's tied at 4. Played right back in. Schultz will play it around. Giveaway. Korolev stopped by Rolison. And the other way it goes as Park gets it out of the zone. And the Hawks will set it up. Stefan Robida. That's center ice. Lead pass over the line. Korolev, he's taken off the puck. This one's sent in, and Rolison will have to give it off in the corner, and Andre Zuzin will set it there. 4-4 the score. Weimer, Chouinard, Schultz, and Park tonight for the Wild. Pops plays it in behind the net. Robida back to center. This one's picked by Bombardier, and Burnett will put one right back in with the Wilder offside. As we get a chance here to take a look at tonight's game summary, brought to you by Grand Casino. Anderson with a couple of goals. Richard Park just moments ago tying it up.
The Wild have shown an ability to score some goals here this evening. That's all we talked about lately, is not being able to score. Well, they've got 4 goals on 11 shots, and a little more opportunistic here this evening.
They just continue to try to dust off those home ice cobwebs, so to speak. Coming into this game, 2 games below the 500 mark of the Wild on home ice. At center, Pascal Dupuis. This would be a monumental comeback, really, when you think about it. Rolison holds on, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage. Clay Matvick.
It was a big night for Coyotes goaltender Brian Boucher. He picked up his 4th straight shutout tonight, a 3-0 win over Washington. 3 of those 4 victories coming on the road, making it even more impressive. It ties a modern-day NHL record. Bill Duman of Montreal set the mark in late February, early March of 49, and Boucher tied it tonight. Guess what? Boucher and the Coyotes here Friday night. He's going to attempt to break the record against the Wild.
He was one of your teammates way back then, wasn't he, Mike?
Goaltending tandem.
Well, what a run for Brian Boucher. That is congratulations to him for sure, and he will be here Friday night with the Phoenix Coyotes. Get an offside here.
Well, there's Chouinard, and he's getting every opportunity to show what he can do. He has 1 goal in this hockey game, came in the 2nd period, but Jacques Lemaire has played him at center, at the wing, at the point on the power play, and basically every situation you can. And he's definitely going to get a look. He said he liked the way Chouinard saw the ice, and he liked the way he plays. So and we'll see what else he has in store for Eric Chouinard.
Gaborik will send to the corner. Brandner is there for Minnesota down low, and there he is, Eric Chouinard, just talking about him, but the Hawks will bring it out. Into the zone, Route 2 with a chance in front. Pops defend on it. To the line it goes, and Brian Berard will send one towards the net. Billy Niemanen blocked that one. Mitchell now leaves for Brandner. Brandner will get it to center ice. Gaborik into the zone. Gaborik holding on to it. Look for the trailer, Jim Dowd. But the Hawks will clear it. Henry now for Kuba. Now it's Henry. Right wing side, Dowd. Moves it along, Loxinen. Looks to flip it there. Zhamnov steals it away for the Hawks, and now Robida with it. Stefan Robida. That's center for Zhamnov. This one taken away, and the Wild will look to move it along. Jim Dowd. Dowd to center. Sends one in. Rolling puck around to the left side. Loxinen battling for possession. So is Robida. Comes right to Bouchard, but he can't get it in front. Zhamnov and Brandner. Good battle for the puck. This one's taken away by Dowd. Dowd holding on to it. Dowd out high, and he'll go to the corner for Bouchard. Behind the net, locks it. Now Dowd goes back to get it. Bouchard. Bouchard with it. Tries to send towards the net. Rolling puck, and Leighton made the save, and it's cleared. So the Wild quickly to center, locks it. Behind the net, Richard Park and Jonathan Aiken. Park gains the handle. Knocking it away. Side of the net, Joltok. Behind the net for Burnett. Now Bombardier will send behind the net. Joltok is there. To the front. Oh, and Schultz can't get it. Great read there, though, by the Blackhawks as they broke it up in front. Meanwhile, Arneson will play it in behind the net. Now Calder breaking up a good chance is Nathan Dempsey.
That's some of the best forechecking we've seen from the Wild in a long time.
Into the corner, and handling it is Calder. Blackhawks look to get something going. Tyler Arneson, he sent one over the top of the net. Rolison got run by Calder. And this one's going to be chipped along back inside the Chicago blue line. Dempsey. Now Alex Henry will play it in behind the net. Comes around, Day gets it at center. Good give and go in a 2-on-1. Weimer, he sent it high. And the puck is back to center ice. Into the zone it goes, Susan. Now Day with it. Rink wide pass, Weimer. Weimer will chase one in behind the net. Hawks look to wrap it around, and they will on right wing. Back to center. Ryan Vandenbush will give it off there for Robida. Shot over the top of the net. Korolev, one of the Chicago goal scorers, looking to work it on right wing. Vandenbush as well. Into the corner, Weimer will take it away, and so Daig back to center for the Wild, but he lost the, overskated the puck. And Vandenbush will send it right back in. A little more than 10 minutes remaining.
Well, there's a new meaning to the referees putting the whistles in their pockets. This one's gone a while without a whistle.
Into the zone for Gaborik. Gaborik drops it for Chouinard. Chouinard is now in behind the net. Played around Bombardier, right point. Sent to the front. In front. Chance there. Chouinard. He's robbed. I don't know if Leighton got it or defenseman Brett McLean. Into the corner it goes. Brander now. Christoph Brander plays it for Chouinard. Sent on score! Second of the night for Eric Chouinard. And the Wild have a 5-4 lead.
Unbelievable forechecking by the Minnesota Wild, and finally they get the puck on net for, look at this chance here. The shot, it caught both the defenseman and the shoulder of Leighton, and then finally the screen and right between the legs of Leighton. Just put the puck on net, and Leighton did not have his stick between the legs. And Eric Chouinard with his second goal of the night, and he said he likes to shoot. And he had a couple shots in that shift, and he scored on one of them.
So it's the first lead of the hockey game for the Minnesota Wild, and just an unbelievably bizarre hockey game here tonight at XL Energy Center. 3 unanswered out of the Wild, and Dowd will bring it right back in. Dowd into the corner. Behind the net holding is Loxonen. Plays it there for Bouchard. Bouchard curls in front. He sent one wide. Dowd out of the corner. Plays it in behind the net. Bouchard will give chase. Bouchard takes a run that time at the defenseman Aiken. Now Bouchard with it in the corner. Bouchard to the front, looking for Dowd, and finally Leighton covers up. Second of the night for Eric.
Well, Eric Chouinard certainly showing well in that last couple of shifts, but he's played pretty well all game long. 2 goals in this hockey game, and looks like he's over that slight concussion symptoms he was feeling a week or 2 ago.
Meanwhile, Joltok with a puck in behind the Chicago net to the front. And Leighton got that one. Joltok will play it away. Tries to go in the corner with it. Burnett down along the end boards. Nickel, he'll take it away for the Blackhawks and right back to center. 8:50 to go regulation. Into the zone. Arneson, backhander that over the top of the net and off netting. Well, 5 goals on 16 shots tonight for the Minnesota Wild. Marquette is 7th earlier in this period. You look at the numbers and for the scoring chances, Mike.
Well, practically every shot they've had have been scoring chances. And you can't always say that. A lot of shots are from outside, but all the ones they've had have been around the net.
And how surprised are you with 16 shots and 5 goals? How surprised are you that they haven't pulled late? Steve Passmore is the backup.
Well, here's the thing: is it's hard to pull a goaltender who's winning, and they have been winning up until
that's a great point. That really is a great point. Pascal Dupuis, and we get a whistle and an icing touch-up. Wild have trailed twice by 2 goals, and they've come back. 3 unanswered to take a 5-4 lead over Chicago. 8:24 remaining in the third. Weimer will get chased out of the circle. Dupuis enters. Zuzan with a shot that goes wide. Weimer out high. In behind the net, Dupuis. Alexander Day. Haig out high, put it in front, they score! Won by Pascal Dupuis. 6-4.
Big hit in the corner and then a feed to Pascal Dupuis on the side of the net. And the Minnesota Wild have scored 6 goals. There's the big hit by Daig. Watch him take the puck now and find someone. That's the kind of hockey you want to see out of him. Good physical forecheck and a nice feed to Pascal Dupuis. It's the first time the Wild have scored 6 goals since they played Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on November 19th, and only the second time this season they've scored that many.
So Pascal Dupuis gets his 8th. Alexander Daig picks up the single assist, and it is now 6-4 Minnesota.
Fine, Alex.
Jamnov will move it along there. Pop plays it at center. Into the zone, Sullivan. At the line for Quint. This one's going to be turned the other way, and Loxinen in a skate chase. Antti Loxinen takes it to the net. He'll cut in behind. Loxinen, one-timer. Schwinnard looking for the hat trick. And it goes off the netting and out of play. We are on hat trick watch for that man, number 21, Eric Schwinnard. At the line, Alex Henry. His shot goes wide. Off the wall, Schwinnard with a chance, and it's stopped by Leighton. Oh, I'd love to see some hats here tonight, Mike.
It'll be the first one the Wild have enjoyed all year. They've had a couple of guys with 2-goal games. Antti Loxinen's had a couple of 2-goal games this year.
Well, he just might get it. You never know, because you brought up the point how he loves to shoot the puck.
And also, you know that Jacques Lemaire is going to give him a lot of ice time. He's earned it.
Gaborik will move it along. Willie Mitchell will have to chase it down inside of his own zone. Jacques Lemaire bringing up a great point about Eric Schwinnard, saying, hey, I want to make sure that he's 100% back healthy before we really start the evaluation process on him. Give him a lot of ice time and see what he can do.
Taken down hard with Brunette along the wall. And the Wild jump in there to show their discontent.
Well, Ryan Vandenbush is in the middle of it. I mentioned Vandenbush earlier.
He led the Blackhawks in penalty minutes in 99-2000 and 2000-2001. There's a hit along the wall. Vandenbush gets in there to support. And it was Robida who actually took out Andrew Brunette. He's going to be okay. But this is the second of 4 meetings this season between these 2 clubs. So
Willie Mitchell out there trying to keep the peace as well. Stefan Robida broke into the league with Montreal. He was traded to Atlanta and then flipped the same day to Dallas. And then he was acquired in a deal with John Clem going to the Dallas Stars earlier this season. So no penalties on that sequence. Darren Quinn will move it along. And the Blackhawks get it back to center. Ryan Vandenbush flips one in, knocked away in the air by Kuba. Headed into the corner now. Kuba playing behind the net, but he lost the puck. The middle, Vandenbush, he can't set it up, and so it's the other way. Richard Park. Park into the zone. Gives it there for Zoltar. To the corner, and this one set high and wide. Andrew Burnett just stays out there for the Wild. He looks as if he's fine. Owen's shot is blocked away by Dwayne Rollison. And Andre Zuzan will move it along. Zuzan inside of his own zone for Alex Henry. At center, Dupuis. Right back in, Nathan Dempsey playing behind the net for Chicago. Behind the net, Daig on the forecheck. Boy, is he doing a great job. They're really bottling up the Blackhawks, and they'll finally get it to center. Easy play there for Nick Schultz as he advances it, but the Hawks will pick it off. Back over the line, Dempsey, but offside are the Chicago Blackhawks. 3 in the third, 6-4 Wild. Tonight in the third period, they have scored the fewest third period goals in the NHL, just 19 entering tonight's game. It'll be a great start to the second half of the season in terms of the victory. Wild here are guilty of the icing call, but it's been bizarre, hasn't it, not, Mike? I mean, they didn't hold the lead until this third period.
It's not been the prototypical game that the Wild would like to play, but you know, at the end of the night, if you're on the right side of the scoreboard, you can address the negative issues and be happy with the 2 points instead of addressing the same issues and licking your wounds. So Wild wanted to start this road trip, or excuse me, this homestand off with a win, but I think they wanted a much a better played win than they're going to get. But as I said, it's going to be a much better feeling in practice tomorrow if they get the win.
Jason Weimer in behind the net, under 5 minutes to go. In regulation, Bell will play to Sullivan. Sullivan behind the net to the front. Robida at the right point. Berard with it. Berard try to look for a deflection. This one's going to be played away, and Jason Weimer will flip it along past Robida. And an icing call will be made here, and Wild are guilty, and so the faceoff will come all the way back. Jason Weimer got the first Wild goal of the hockey game, his 7th, way back at 8:48 of the first period of play.
And who would have known that after the first period, where it ended 1-1, that you'd have 8 more goals in the hockey game.
Might have to go home and gargle with salt water from all the goals scored here tonight. Into the zone, Arneson sent. Rollison, no problem there.
Well, Arneson also looking for a hat trick. He has 2 of the 4 Chicago goals, and he's been a pretty good opportunist in this hockey game as well.
The other good story here tonight, Mike, if the Wild hold on, would be the fact that they get Manny Fernandez off the hook, who is the starting goaltender. Rollison would pick up the win. As we get a shot taken from the point and another save. But again, you know, Chicago's had a lot of good flurries in this hockey game. They had a chance right there, so it's a long way from being over.
Well, a couple of bad bounces really on Manny Fernandez. The bad goal that was scored on him really was the Bell goal from the sharp angle, but the other 2 bad bounces and nothing you can really do anything about.
To the front, Park got a little bit of a tug, and the Blackhawks will counter. Into the zone, backhander, Calder, but this one picked off, and Burnett will turn the other way. I'll tell you what, I can't say anything bad about the goaltending first half of the season. I mean, Manny Fernandez came in here 9 of 10, allowing 2 goals or less.
Well, the thing is not only did they not give up bad goals, they did not give up many goals, period. The goals that they generally did give up were really well earned by the opposition. So if you have a hiccup here and there, I'm sure that the team can survive it.
Alexander Day got upended, so Robida the other way. Into the zone, holding on to it. Ruutu, and shot over the top of Rollison. Steve Popst plays it in behind the net. Ruutu goes right after it. corner, McLean. McLean behind the net, just trying to get one in front. This one's swatted along, but it's taken away by Weimer, and he'll get it out to center for Day. We're down to 2:45 remaining in regulation. It's a 2-goal Minnesota Wild lead. Trying to climb back to 1 point away from the 8th and final playoff spot. The Los Angeles Kings hold that, and they'll play tonight in Anaheim. Southern California resumes tonight at the Arrowhead Pond. Sullivan will chase it down, and Bouchard will take it away. Sullivan gets it right back to Berard, but they're going to get him on a 2-line pass here. And so the face-off comes back.
Presented by Hockey Ministries International this Sunday, February 4th at 8 a.m.
Well, the Chicago Blackhawks, if they can continue on for the next 2-12 as they are, will drop their 13th straight road game. They would make them 0-12, 0-1 in their last 13 road games, something that is truly killing them right now.
Hambrick in behind the net. Comes in front, Chouinard for the hat trick, and that's why. Puck is played away. That's center ice. Rolison on a shot in by Nickel, and we get the whistle and the stoppage. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and pull goaltender Michael Leighton.
Well, this team is desperate for points. Anything can help them right now, and as a lot of coaches use this as a benchmark, basically they'll pull their goaltender every minute that they need a goal. So since they're down by 2, they're basically pulling them out at 2 minutes. See if they can do anything with it.
Timeout here. Dennis Savard, the assistant coach, mapping out the strategy. The head coach to the left is Brian Sutter. It'll be interesting here too, Mike. I mean, Eric Chouinard was just out there, but with the timeout, I think Jacques Lemaire will keep him out there, see if the kid can get the hat trick.
Hey, why not?
And there he is, Eric Chouinard, with a pair of goals here. One in the second, his 4th, and then one here at 9:58.
I'm looking forward to seeing him play with his cousin Mark Chouinard, and Mark Chouinard, you never know, will probably do within, I would hope to see the next week or so here.
Saw him today. He's doing really well. He's gaining the weight,
which is tough to do. He's not a weight gainer as it is, and he has to skate himself back into shape, and so he's got the catch-22 of skating hard to get himself in shape, but skating hard makes him lose weight, which is what he's trying to do.
Hawks win the draw. Zhamnov side of the net. This one just sent wide. Bounced off one of the Blackhawks skates. Steve Sullivan, I think, got a piece of it. Ruutu can't play it along. Loxonen hacks away at it. Pascal Dupuis can't move it out. Now Kuba with it. And it's cleared to center for Loxonen. Loxonen goes to the empty net and he scores. Put this one in the win column. 7-4 the Wild, with just 1:29 remaining.
Highest goal output this season for the Minnesota Wild. They've scored 6 goals twice. Last time they scored 6 was November 19th. This a 7-goal performance as Loxonen puts one in for the empty netter, and Minnesota Wild up by 3.
Scoring for Minnesota, his 7th goal of the season, number 24, Antti Loxonen.
Into the corner, Korolev with it. Took a big hit from Andre Zuzin. Chouinard, he got run, and the puck is cleared away.
From Dupuis.
So Dempsey will chase it down on an icing call here against Minnesota. Dupuis and Kuba picking up the assists.
Well, Antti Loxonen really jumped into the play well against St. Louis the other night, and I think it was plays from him and Dowd and Brunette driving to the net that really got the Wild going in that game. And he scores an empty netter and is rewarded with a goal here late in this one. Well, Vandenbush out there, and really no reason except to do damage. There's no reason for him to really be out there. He's not going to score a hat trick here in the last minute.
Ryan Vandenbush will line up across from Willie Mitchell here for this face-off. Mitchell just took a stick in the face from Vandenbush. We're under a minute to go here in the third. Mullen tries to set it up. Puck played away and cleared back to center. Now the Blackhawks will send it right back in. Vandenbush will head to the Chicago bench. And Willie Mitchell at his own blue line for Sergei Zholtak. Burnett got it to the line. Kyle Calder will take it away. This one's sent in, handling it is Zholtak to Kuba. Oh, Arneson the other way. Arneson to the front. Look out. Chance loose, and in behind the net it goes. He wrapped around. So the Wild was 7 goals, a franchise high. And they are on their way to victory. Just 10 seconds remaining. The critical 5-game homestand gets off to a win and 2 points, and the crowd on their feet here tonight. As Wallison will play it in, and that's it. The season series is tied at 1, and our Dodge player of the game tonight in St. Paul, Eric Chouinard, he gets the game-winning goal. 2 goals tonight for the man acquired from Philadelphia. That brings us to tonight's G play of the game.
And it was a good one as he just gets the puck and rips it at the net, goes 5-hole, and the Wild have ended a 7-game winless streak. They get a win and 5 ties in their last 8 games, and so the Wild can have something to build on here. It's not going to be something that they're going to be happy about except for the 2 points. They have a lot of work to do, but they are at home here, and they do have the time to, in between each of these games, to really take a look at what they need to do offensively and even in some cases defensively.
And most important, it gets him in that mindset of winning on home ice. So whether it was ugly, bizarre, whatever.
It was all those things.
They get the win, and the homestand is off to a great start. Well, that'll do it tonight from St. Paul. The final, the Wild 7, Chicago 4. Friday, catch the Wild over on Fox 9 as they host the Phoenix Coyotes. Coverage beginning at 7 p.m. Monday, the Wild return to Fox Sports Net as they continue their homestand against the Nashville Predators. 6:30 p.m. with the Wild ticket. For Mike Relay and Clay Matrick, I'm Matt McConnell. Thanks for watching. Coming up next, don't miss